9 to 5 and just
How does
tell
it get
Lord.
any better? Yes, we are live. Well, hello everyone, and hello, Cass. We are today honored to have Cass Thomas as our guest, and Cass Thomas, I think, is one of the longest standing Access Consciousness certified facilitators. Right? You've been with Access since 20 or so years.
Yeah, well, 20 years ago, I got my first bars,
Wow.
and yeah, amazing. And then 18 years ago, I did my first um, 18 years ago, I did my first bars foundation, the foundation
Uh-huh.
level, and then the level one. So bars and
Yeah, back
foundation.
then.
And in the 6 months later, well, I went from Rome to Florida to do the CDP, which was
Wow.
then called the level 2 and 3, and met Gary
Uh-huh.
Douglas and Dr. Dane here. And Simone Millicis picked me up from the chair and said, "Would you like me to run your bars?" And I was like, "Oh my God, why doesn't she see I'm taking notes on everything Gary Douglas is saying?" I didn't want to be, rude. So I went to the massage table, and as my head was hitting the table before I went to sleep, I heard Gary Douglas say, "Thank God somebody took that woman to get her bars. Her eyes were popping out of her head."
That's so
And that
sweet.
was Simone Millicis who had invited me to receive the bars. That was in 2005. Yeah. So, yeah. And then 2006, I went to California and got my license. And I said to Gary Douglas, what's the presumptive realities and the need of reactive realities only doing access in English? Would you be willing to go beyond the presumptive reality and come to the country of Italy and begin doing different languages? So he came in 2006.
Whoa.
He came in 2007 to Italy, and I had Turkish, Spanish, and Italian translations. And then I expanded it really to about 9 different languages. I was getting them translated in different languages. And finally, we've expanded the translation. I was just one
Yeah,
doing all the
yeah,
translation. And then, yeah, and then now we have such an amazing team. So I'm just working on the translation
beautiful.
of the Access books. Yeah.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
because I'm an Access Consciousness translator, I've heard stories of how it really grew from a lot of your initiatives also. So grateful for that.
And how
And
many
for
initiatives do we have? How many
I have
presumptive
no idea.
realities do we
Yes,
have that we feel like we
yes.
in need of reactive realities? But now that you ask me that, and I know you want to talk about that, well, so this is just going to be really strange, right? Perhaps one of my presumptive realities is that all languages, right, are
Mhm.
desired and required to get us out there in the world and to get access out there in the world. So the need of a reactive reality to start pushing and getting that out there, what did it create? Amazingness, right?
Yes, exactly. So you can use, I mean, this is not a pocket potting or changing required presumptive reality and need of reactive reality. Sometimes you can also use it to create something, as
Exactly.
long as you don't have projection, expectation, decisions or judgments about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
The
Or separation
this
from you
Yeah,
and
separate the
others.
two, and this shows that not all presumptions are bad. If you have a presumption that you want to create more, that more is required, then use it to your advantage. What we are
Exactly.
talking about is, of course, the ones that stop us from seeing the truth of ourselves and stops us from creating more. And today, by the way, if anyone does not know the background of Cass, she has done some off-Broadway shows, and she is a lot of in singing and acting actually, and film. You have a film production company, or you have worked with it in Italy?
I had one for 6 years. I'm actually
Whoa!
going, I know this will be seen afterwards, but I'm going for a casting tomorrow.
Oh, beautiful!
It sounds like
And
a cast thing, but it's actually a casting.
And
Government.
what a wonderful field to be in. And thus, she also has her own specialty classes like 7 steps to flawless communication. And what was the other one? Um,
My
n- n-
access consciousness specialty class is Access Your Communication Genius. It's like
Genius.
a leap forward from my Tales from the Golden Planet, which connecting people with the past, and
Yeah,
now Access Your Communication Genius, inviting them to leap forward
yeah.
and create the future. Yeah.
And about the presumptive realities and the needle reactive realities, we're going to talk about music in that sense. I wonder what your perspective on it and what you would like to talk about when it's about music and
You know, I
presumptive.
want to sing. You know that that makes me think. I
You want to
love
say?
music, any kind of music. I love music just as long as it's swinging. I love, I love, I love music. Yeah, and it's interesting because I mean, with the bars and with the body processes, 3-day body class facilitator for over 10 years, we're asking people, right? We're not telling them because we know if you tell humanoids, they'll do
Yeah.
exactly the opposite. But we're asking people, please do not play music, during
Mhm,
bars and during the body processes. And one of the things about that is that people you're not always aware, right? What perhaps is the relation the reactive reality that people have to certain songs. I
mhm,
don't know if you know about that, but we're talking about music. So that the pop rock, I think it was called, right? That the kids who were really abused and just by the parents emotionally, basically, they would listen to this certain type of music to get them out of their heads.
mhm,
However, there are songs. One of the things that I was thinking about when Gary was talking about this, please don't play the music, is that a lot of people, they play music like the sound of waves in the
mhm,
ocean, right? And you're like, what's the problem with that? That's so lovely. That's the earth, right? But
mhm,
what if someone actually drowned in an ocean in a previous
mhm.
life? Would that bring that up for them? So that
Yeah.
don't play music while doing those.
Yeah.
You don't have to. The presumptive reality that it's a song that would work for someone. How much does that create a reactive reality for them? However, music otherwise, and I know that Gary and Dane love music. I've even danced with them both. Um, in Costa Rica and on the stage here in Rome. But music's has a vibe that we can dance with, even without moving, because it actually connects with the energy in our body in different ways. So
Mhm,
find the music that works for you. It can be classical, it can be jazz, it can be rock, it can be whatever it is. What is it that gets you to be present and to expand your zone? You know, and
mhm,
um, and so really the presumptive reality that, oh, I don't like music, oh, I can't sing. Everybody can sing. But if you're going into a reactive reality about not being able to sing, then you're actually, diminishing the capacity to have your voice heard. So I've been working with, I, I've been working with music for years also. And with the off Broadway, I was a producer there and a manager for traveling around the world with musicians. And what was the presumptive reality I had, right? That had my reactive reality as working with others' music instead of creating my own. So when I
mhm,
went beyond that presumptive reality that, oh, I'm a manager,
mhm,
I'm not the singer, right? When I went beyond that presumptive reality, the need for a reactive reality to get a job doing something for others allowed me to, hey, create a song. I created my
mhm.
first song, which you heard. Yeah.
Oh,
And
so the Dancing with the Riches is your first one?
is my first song. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. I just shared it in this group with people. I think it's really something I can tap into whenever I go into constructed point of view or a space that there is no space, it really opens up my space. I
Thank
love that music and it's so joyful.
Thank you. There was a anyway, I did the there's a little bit of a base of it.
Hmm.
That a gal, an Italian gal who's living in the States, she asked if we could create a bit of a soulful music for her guided meditation, 12-minute meditation. And she didn't really like, she thought it was maybe too soulful, but we did use the actually that for ours. And really the music is something that years ago when I met this guy, American guy in Italy, and we had lunch together at the airport. He looked at up, he was like, he's a Qigong guy,
Mm,
American. He was looking above my head, and I was like, oh, so I had the presumptive reality that this guy is just, crazy, right? So my reactive reality was like, actually did work. Okay, why are you looking above my head? He said, oh, I'm looking at your chakras. It's like, my chakras? Aren't the chakras in your head? Aren't the chakras, don't they? Is it like the top one that's like the crown? He's like, oh, no, 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 they're all over. And I know you love to sing and dance,
uh-huh.
right? And so the presumptive reality could be, right, that, oh, just because I'm a black girl, you think I just like to dance and sing, right? And we could go into the need of a reactive reality. Why are you saying I like to dance and sing? However, going beyond the presumptive reality, I actually used that's a couple of the tools he gave me in my 7 steps book in step 6 and 7 about expanding your zone and
Hmm.
connecting with the earth. So what are the presumptive realities that do not allow us to actually receive what the universe is putting for us on a silver platter, because we're too busy looking down, left, right, in order to look up and see the silver platter with the gifts and the possibilities of change.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, how many millions of presumptive realities do we have about communication itself anyway, let alone
Absolutely.
Earth? I mean, how
Absolutely.
many forms and energetic forms it can come up, but we don't allow it to infiltrate into our universe.
Exactly. And these 7 steps, my Access Communication Genius, the 10 keys to total freedom in this. I use so many of these amazing access tools in these communication. How to
Mm-hmm.
use them for communication? Gary's the one that said to me, "Hey, when he first met me, hey, the way you communicate is unique. You need to share it with the world."
Mm-hmm.
And write a book. I was like, why write a book? We got plenty of good books. Why do I have to write a book? Presumptive reality, right? And then
React.
need reactive reality. I don't want to write a book. He's an author, right? And he was like, because you're different. I was like, well, what may not, I mean, the way I communicate, I'm just getting to access. It won't be an access book. He said,
Mm-hmm.
that was the need of a reactive reality, presumptive reality, talking to the chief of access, right? And it's so cool as people say, it's great when you talk about the tools of access and you're not using the language, and how many people can receive it. But the presumptive realities, are, we have so many, but using one of these 10 keys to total freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
When, no matter what shows up is amazing. And that key is 10 seconds, right?
Yes.
Right? Anytime something shows up, you get ready to go into a reaction or what you consider a response, which may be a
Mm-hmm.
reaction based on the presumptive, what you presumed is the reality, right? That's there.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then see what the response is that's a little bit different because you're giving that 10 seconds
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
live. What do you choose, right? What is it that we would say different? And maybe before you actually respond to somebody or react, maybe they say something different. They add
Yes.
something in there that you didn't hear because the moment they said something, presumptive reality, need for reactive reality. If you count to 10, perhaps
Yeah.
that presumptive reality will actually open up a bit and you'll see maybe different presumptive realities, but you have more choice. Yeah,
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah, everyone can remember that, I think, the rule of 10 or rule of 10 seconds. If you want to just, write it into your mind, like, oh, okay, remember rule of 10. And because otherwise, the need of reactive reality is such an automatic response system, it takes you out of being. It just
absolutely.
is a default position that you have no choice in.
And you start heading down a road with no
Yeah,
exits, and just looking up. I mean, I've had that many times as well, the need for reactive reality. But if you're willing to express it anyway, you can't get you wrong. Then at least if you're willing to communicate it, then you'll
yeah,
get, especially if it's with access facilitators like you, or, if someone is willing to say, hey, what you just said, this is what showed up for me. And it's such
yeah,
a gift if you share it, because it's not wrong to
yes,
be in reactive reality. What is right about you is the way you communicate. So if you communicate that to someone, they can give you a different perspective on it. And that
yeah,
10 keys to total freedom, that um, 10 seconds, it's such a gift. I mean, all of them are, and this is
yeah.
such a gift. And with my friend Karen Jones, who was my first facilitator, I think she might still be a bars facilitator, but years
Yeah.
ago she left Italy. She's American. She was living in Italy. I moved here. 2 years later, she moved to the States, and she's a singer, and she came back to sing, and she just kept saying to me, "What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this?" I was like, "Oh my god, what happened to her? She used to be so smart." Now she's just
What if
repeating. And so my presumptive reality is that she went crazy, and my reactive reality is like, why are you still keep saying that? And asking and being willing to go into reactive reality. Why do you keep saying that? She ran my bars, and here I am,
what
facilitator.
if,
So
yeah, she opened up the pathways for you and many others? That
yeah,
was, yeah,
yeah,
something
yeah.
to be grateful for.
So
Yeah.
let's not go into a reactive reality about our
Yes.
reactions. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Reactive realities, because perhaps that will open up a door that we
Yeah.
never knew was possible. And she
Exactly.
started a song, 10 seconds to live, what do you choose? 10 seconds to live, how will you live your life? I'm gonna find it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Wow.
Maybe
Beautiful.
I
Actually,
wanna
someone
produce
was,
it, but now maybe I'll sing it. Hey.
yay. See, we have it's all of those tools are when you are brutally honest with yourself, to be aware of where you are functioning from, not to make yourself wrong, like Cass explained in a different way, just so you are aware, you can change it. Otherwise, it's just buried underground. And someone was just to end this conversation in a sweet tone. Someone was asking, "Can we listen to it, please?" I have shared it, the song "The Dancing with the Riches," but would you be willing to just sing a few
Yes,
couplets, from your song, not the whole thing, maybe?
absolutely, and it's my second book, right? It's my second book.
Yeah.
It's in the Access chapter. It's a
And
uh,
by the way, this
dancing. Go ahead, honey.
yeah, the book also "Dancing with the Riches" is Cass Thomas's book, published first in 2019 in many languages. You can also find. Now the song comes.
Yes, and 7 Steps is in 20 languages, you know that? In what
Wow.
languages are you translating, my darling?
Turkish.
Written as well?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, if you're willing, because I'm just
I know.
I'm doing an Access Consciousness Publishing request. I'm gonna call you, baby. Yes, because we need to get
Okay,
some more books in Turkish. And this Dancing with Riches will come out in Turkish too. Maybe the song.
beautiful,
Dancing,
beautiful.
dancing, dancing, dancing with riches. Life can be difficult. At times it weighs you down. But that's no reason to go through every day with a frown. Take
Oh,
a look at the brighter side. Be strong, be ready, be free. Learn from your failures and become all you can be. Dancing with riches, there is no better way. Dancing with riches each and every day. Dancing with riches Keep those negative thoughts at bay. Dancing with riches. There's so much more to say. Hey, hey.
Ah, that was amazing. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Cass, Thomas, for being
Thank
with
you
us
so
today.
much. It
And
was
thank you.
lovely. Oh, I'm gonna take a photo of us together. And have a wonderful, wonderful time with this with these encounters because it's really
Thank you.
magic. Thank
Thank you. It
you.
is really magic, and how wonderful it is. Yesterday we had Moira Bramley talked about wealth and money, and now we're doing the dance of dancing with riches. The consciousness has its way.
And the music. Tashi
Yeah,
kudadem, da 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 da, tashi kudadem. I love that. It's one of my favorite songs. Tashi
beautiful.
kudadem. Yeah, it's beautiful in Turkish.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
teşekkürler. Thank you.
Ben
Gracias.
teşekkür ederim. Bye bye. Hoşça kal.
Bye.